How'd you feel?
Hungover.
Edit that bit out. Hey guys, it's Nick here from Hidden Valley Bushcraft, and today the much awaited revisiting and properly exploring that cave. If you saw our water video, go and check that out, and then you'll see in there was a cave we discovered. Been a long time coming, I know. Thank you to those who've waited. Not on my own today. So obviously here's a face you may recognise. We have Tilly Moo Moo. And I also have my good buddy James with me today.
Hi, how's it going?
We've got some basic supplies on our back. It's kind of like a one-day micro adventure shindig. Grab yourself a cup of tea and you're in and cozy and ready for this, because generally I've never been inside the cave before. So here we are back at the Harptree Coombe as we head onto our destination for today, the cave. Now we are also going to be, after the cave, probably heading further afield. Wherever you are watching this around the world, hello. And I do hope that you've enjoyed the channel so far as we head further down the path, and you can just make out Brunel's underground tunnel. Now I did mention this in the water vid, and of course here is that above ground inspection chamber for that underground tunnel taking water from the Mendip Hills all the way into the city of Bristol, which was designed and built by a very, very extraordinary engineer by the name of Isambard Kingdom Brunel. Some of the feats of engineering that have happened in this landscape just blow my mind when you think about the things they would have had to overcome. The landscape is changed so much in that time. As you can see, we're moving through the forest, this rather large beech tree, and this is something I wanted to bring up. I notice that an almighty branch has sheared itself off. And you can see this is very recent, because you can see the life in these leaves here. And in England, this is an absolute, and the world over, this is an absolute killer every single year, where people camp underneath these because of their acidic leaves. That means there's very little understory growing underneath here. And it's still not yet fully understood why this happens. But as you can see, it has sheared off a massive limb. Okay, and they have a tendency to do that. So there's probably a ton of timber there, or maybe 2 ton, that's just come off all of a sudden. Could be on a still summer's day and it's just given way, and it's just one to look for. So never ever, if you do have the opportunity, bivvy up or camp underneath a beech tree for this exact reason. And I mean, you just get an idea for how big. It probably doesn't look like much on the camera here, but just look how big this branch is absolutely massive. And that has come down, I would say, in the last day or two because of how green all that foliage is on there. I always speak about widow makers. It's very, very important to have your head on a swivel and not just be looking at eye height, looking at the ground, reading the sign, see what animals have been there, etc. But then also looking up into the canopy, because that will catch you out very quickly. Absolutely stunning here. Here we are, we really are going into this ancient coombe now. And you can see the water source down to my right. You just love the water. You're not going down there. All right, we're going to cross this thing now. The leap of faith. Well done. I love British woodland when it's like this time of year. I could be anywhere in the world. I mean, it feels tropical in here. And James, you're South African, you've travelled the world quite a lot as well. What do you make of it?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's amazing that there's so much left in the UK actually, like this.
This is a bit of a strange one, because as we work our way up, that looks like it gets really boggy down in there. So we're going to cross back over again. Oh! Every single vid, mate, I've made so far, I've nearly binned it. It's nice to have someone else nearly bin it. I think I should have marked this on a map or something a bit better. Oh yeah, mate. Yeah, there's a cave up here of some sort.
Cool, man.
Hang on a minute. It's kind of like a fissure that goes back into the rock, but it hasn't got that cave top to it. It's kind of open.
Sure.
It's just a deep fissure that goes back and narrows down. Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And this ancient coombe is full of it. I think there's going to be a few days of filming here. Right, I'm going to try and come down. Okay, we'll find it. We'll find it. You can see where the water's been coming off the landscape. There's another one up in there. Okay, this is the one. So we'll just grab some torches out. From my old life, I've come away with an XP1 Trooper, which is a weapons torch. That'll be pretty useful in here. The one I tend to use day to day is just this little ProTech with a little adjustable zoom, USB charger in the corner, and I've got a red filter on there. Don't need that right now. And to be honest, don't need that very often because no need to be tactical anymore. I should also note that James is also a veteran, has also fought overseas, been to Afghanistan, all the similar haunts to myself, and so he's also well versed in exploring caves and getting off grid and doing this kind of stuff. Come on, Tilly. Oh, it's pretty narrow in here, and that goes back seriously far. I mean, this keeps going. Okay, so no bats in here that I can see, but it's a dead end, and the temperature difference, I can see my breath in here. I don't think this is just formed by water, guys. I think this is a mine. This is probably evidence of mining, I would have thought, in the area. I'm just looking on the walls now for any signs of any other human activity other than you can see water just dripping off the edge there. It's wet in the back of this place. That is absolutely incredible. And of course, as I mentioned before, it was caves like this that King Charles II, as this is actually part of the Monarch's Way, was camping out in when he was on the run on his amazing 620 something mile escape and evasion away from the Cromwell's troops when Britain briefly became a republic. So after the Battle of Worcester, we're talking hundreds of years ago. It's well documented that he hid out in caves like this. Look at that. What do you think, Tilly Moo? I mean, I was hoping for stalagmites and stalactites in here, but it doesn't seem to have any of that. And you can see these different layers in the rock. I'm looking for any blast holes where they might have been blasting in here, but I'm not sure that was the technology at the time. It might have been much more. See these square marks? Yeah. Like picks. Come on, Tilly, let's get out of here. Whoa, daylight! Oh, look at that. That is glorious. If you like what you've seen today, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the like button and share it with anyone else you think would appreciate this this type of micro expedition, I suppose you can call it, today. And we're now going to head off and going to go and have a well-deserved coffee because it's quite humid and we've been trekking through the undergrowth for a little while now. So I think a well-deserved fire, brew up, is the way forward. Come on, Tilly. I think it's times like this that I'm happy with the lightweight setup. It sits well on me. That's when you realise your fitness isn't what it used to be. How'd you feel?
Hungover.
Edit that bit out, or don't. So we're now walking linear to the route that we came in on, but we're up on the high ground because we've chosen to box up and round. So you can see, well, hopefully you can make out, down there is the path we came in on. So we've basically gone up the coombe, found the cave, boxed up, right up and round, then we're coming back down here, with the idea being to come back to the start point cross over the road from where we were at the Land Rover, disappear into the other bit of woodland that we're allowed to use. Landowner's permission is so important for this sort of thing, guys, especially here in the UK. In the wider world, appreciate laws are different, but things are pretty tight here in the UK. And if you want to be doing activities such as having fires and you know, proper wild camping and stuff, you've got to have it pretty well swept up. There are a handful of places you can wild camp in the UK. Go check out our video on wild camping. I'll talk a little bit about that. That's kind of the focus of the video, and you'll see me overnighting in a hammock. Right, here we are back to the start. It's our old friend the burdock, which we've also made a video about. Well, what's cool about this, if you're out for a day with the family, is that we can make ourselves a really funky little sun hat just by snapping the stem and putting a point on it either side. I'll just try and put my knife away safely. Never rush when you've got a knife in your hands, guys. Okay, and then all you're going to do is fold one leaf over the other leaf, constrict that down, and then you'll see these veins on the back, and you're going to take the pointy end and push that through one side and bring that out the other. Now on a red hot sunny day like this, moving across open ground until we get to the next woodland, that's going to make me a rather cool funky Peter Pan style hat, which I can wear either way round, and will make me look like a wally, but will also keep the sun off the back of my neck and keep my head nice and cool. And obviously, being a biodegradable throwaway item, when I get to where I'm going, it's getting ditched. So this is an old drover's route. Years and years and years ago, when people had to take their animals, their geese, their cattle to market, they had these kind of little routes carved out through the landscape where they would frequently use these same channeled routes to take the cattle down to market. And I can actually see the hooves, the hoof marks and feces left by cows and sheep, as it's still used today to move the animals around the farm from field to field. This is one of the routes they come down, because obviously they can't escape out either side here. It's pretty safe and secure. It's kind of a one direction thing. And then you'll have the farmer with his quad bike and a sheepdog or two driving them on. James has just been talking about the importance of protecting your neck. I mean, growing up in, where did you grow up?
Zimbabwe.
Do you have any plants like this that we can use? I can throw this now because we're pretty much undercover.
To be honest, no, I don't think we do. But
no?
No. But yeah, I guess people just wear hats.
There you go. You've heard it here from a real life South African. Wear a hat. So we've arrived in the sanctuary. Sweating. How do you feel?
Good.
So what do you think of this woodland?
Yeah, lovely.
This is our new playground for Hidden Valley Bushcraft. Tilly loves it. So
much garlic.
We'll head off down this way, mate. We'll handrail the outside of the woodland. We'll head down to the camp. It's just a really nice little spot. Tilly Moo Bear, she's going to go in the plunge pool. Yeah, that was predictable. So humid in here. Jungle conditions. You can just see the opening above, so we've got a large old oak. Just a little top tip, just shave down the top a couple of mil on your raft that you're making, because you'll expose the good dry stuff underneath. And now it's marginal, but it's still all taking energy out of your little fire that you're trying to make. So we're just harvesting the outside of this good dry stuff, and that thumb snap test, if it snaps in your thumb and it's been dry stood up above ground level, there's a good chance it's going to be great for getting the party started. There's a whole mass of it here, so you crack on with that, mate. I'm going to go find this silver birch. So I know there's a large silver birch that's come down. We're going to see if we can take a few patches of bark off of it to get the party started. Got a birch here, which is also got some of these really cool King Alfred's cake fungus, which if they're dry enough we could use those to get the fire going. and these act much more as a kind of a coal extender. So we'll have a play with these when we get back to camp. But this is what I'm after, is this stuff here, and I'm just looking for these bits that are peeling off readily. Might just take that whole piece back. Now it's been weathered for quite a while, so you can tell it's lost a lot of its colour as well. Nonetheless, this still contains betulum oils. Betula pendulus is its classification, is its Latin name. So we'll just take some of these back, a few strips. Don't want to be greedy, don't want to take any more than I need. That'll do. We'll take this back and see if we can breathe some life into it to get the fire started. Your choices are latte macchiato or Maxwell House latte.
Either one, mate.
Either one?
Yeah, you can have whichever one you want.
I see bubbles. So you can see that's going banzai in there now. Let's bring that over to me, and hopefully with my fancy adjustable knot, take all the slack out of it and pop it down on the floor here somewhere. Find yourself a stirry stick.
Actually saying that, I can just whack the lid on it.
Ah, there's always one. It's always you.
Keep the glove on.
Cheers.
Cheers, bro.
Oh, that's actually all right. When was the last time you got out and sat around a campfire? Let us know in the comments below. That'd be cool. Make sure you get outside and actively find a way to practice this stuff, or call up that friend that you need to speak to, and at the very, very least, just go and have a cup of tea with them or coffee. I know it's a very English and British thing to say, as our go-to is that I'll have a coffee, but or a tea. But it is important, guys, and it's important that you go out and do this stuff. COVID has hit the world, has hit the planet pretty hard. Those who are already struggling with any sort of mental ill health or conditions, it's been exacerbated. Those who never had anything going on beforehand, no pre-existing history, are now finding themselves with diagnoses. But on the theme of mental fitness, okay, and maintaining a good healthy mindset, in the same way that you'd exercise your muscles, get out there and do something for the mind, nourish the soul. Okay, find that little craft thing, that craft element. Could be doing a puzzle in the house, could be actually coming out and full on crafting something. Communicate with other people, and just overall maintain a good level of working mental resilience to what the world is going to throw at you. I realise I'm fully behind the smoke right now, but hopefully my words ring true somewhere.